Welcome, everyone. You reached Grandma Mo, covering the WNBA games played on Saturday, August 23rd. And this one I'm covering, this was the first game of the day. You have New York, very limited by player, too many players out. But, and Atlanta's just about at full strength, except for Canada. So played in Atlanta. Before I go any further, appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button for me. So Atlanta played well. Ultimately Atlanta just out-hustled New York. That is what it come down to. But the game was lost for New York, or on the other hand, won for Atlanta in the first quarter. Someone needs to tell Jonquel Jones she's not a point guard. Why is she dribbling the ball up the court? She had she had 4 turnovers. Those were all in the first quarter. And it put them in a hole. It wasn't only Jonquel Jones. But then she's standing there watching somebody right next to her just take a shot. It was just, usually she started to actually contest shots and try to block some shots, try to, get in there for the rebounds instead of just they were in the first quarter, she was just oh, there it goes. Oh, maybe I should go for that. That's not usual. She wants to stand out there and shoot threes. And she hit a couple in the first quarter, but it's you're 6'6". You have Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones, who are gonna, New York needed her down in the post. But the first quarter, it's Atlanta was hustling all over the place, and New York was watching the ball drop. Bad defense. There were a lot of layups, but that was for both teams. Both teams did not play great defense in this game. Especially in the first quarter. But I was just shaking my head looking at Jonquel Jones. I'm what are you doing? I don't know why Cloud didn't one of the things that I noticed and this happens with every team, and I keep waiting for an official to call backcourt. You're getting guards dribbling the ball up the court, and then they cross half court, and they'll be a center or a power forward or somebody, one of the bigs, coming up the middle of the court, and they pass it to him just as they're passing half court. And there have been a couple of times where it was oh, that was close. I don't understand. What are you doing? You're the point guard. Bring the ball to the center of the court. Let everybody else get in place. Maybe that's old school or back when I played in the 80s. I don't know. But I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm seeing it. It is getting really close where you'll get these guards. They bring the ball down the side, up the side of the court, and then they'll pass it in the middle. And the player that's coming is just crossing half court. And mark my words, it's going to happen. Because they're passing the ball too soon before the center or the person that's coming down the middle of the court is getting their feet on the ground in the front court. There have been a couple. But they do it what are you doing? You don't want your center handling the ball. Not up there. Give it to your guards. And what are the guards giving up the ball for? A lot of them do that motion offense. I get that. But have the ball in your hands as a point guard to start everything off. Anyway, just disappointed in the rebounding effort and the hustle effort from New York. Maybe they're just tired. Maybe Jonquel Jones is tired. She started to actually do what she normally does in the fourth quarter. But, she just, look at people. Oh, here they come. Oh, let's watch them shoot. Like, stick your arm up at least. Be a little, so they have to divert their shot. Anyway, I mean, I like Jungle Jones, but it was just so glaring in the first quarter. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? Anyway, so they got outscored by 10 in the first quarter, and then it also was happening in the second. So the Atlanta Dream get the win 78-62. Their biggest lead was, 26 points on the champs. I mean, yes, New York is without Sabally, Harrison, Stewie, and Sabrina. That's a lot. But that's exactly why you want Jungle Jones down on the post. Let Cloud and Johannes and Phoebish and Rebecca Gardner, let them handle the ball. Post up down low, get Bree Jones and Brittany Griner in foul trouble. And instead she wants... I gotta leave it alone. I just see this all the time, and I don't understand why these really big bigs do not enforce their size. Like, use your size. It's to your advantage. Anyway, so, and then Atlanta outscored New York in the third, also 16-15, and then New York finally outscored them 18-14. Kennedy Burke kind of went on a run in the third and fourth to give New York a little bit of life. So now Atlanta is solidly in second place with a 24-13 record. New York has now dropped to fifth, 22-15. I believe we have 8 games to go. Let's see. Points in the paint were even. Second chance points. This is a very telling stat for Hustle. Atlanta had 21 second chance points to New York's 7. Fast break points were no big deal. Turnovers, New York had 14. I would venture to say 12 of them were in the first quarter. Or first, early in the second. And then they started to clean things up. But it was too bad because they just put themselves in such a hole. And then Atlanta got 18 points off turnovers. And Atlanta only had 7 turnovers. So, congratulations to Atlanta. They did what, they hustled. They got the win at home. And, good for them. So you had 3 players in double figures for New York. And they're low double figures. Your leading scorer is Kennedy Burke. She had 13 points. She was 5 for 8. She probably played the best of everybody in this game. Jones had 11, and she hit 3 threes. All of them, I think, were in the first quarter. That was the majority of what she did. She was 4 for 13 overall, which is 30%. Which, when you're 6'6", she took 8 threes. 8 rebounds. She had 4 turnovers. That is actually surprisingly low. I thought she had more than that. And then the only other one in double figures was Emma Meeseman. She was 5 for 10. She had 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers. And you had Talbot. She had a hoop. She was playing some good defense and she was hustling for New York. Rebecca Gardner also hustling. She had 4 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. Natasha Cloud, 7 points, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. She was 2 for 6, and she was 3 for 4 from the line. Maureen Johannes, 7 points. She was not hitting today. She was 1 for 7 from 3. But the one she did hit was in the fourth quarter, and that thing was a bomb. That was a logo 3 to, as much as Sabrina's was the other night. She was 3 for 12 overall. She had 5 assists and 3 rebounds. And then Phoebish had 8 points. They need more out of Phoebish in a game like this. And she just, she played okay, but she wasn't really effective. She only took 5 shots. Like, when I mean, you don't have UNESCO. Like, people other than Jones taking threes. I mean, Emma Mason took 10 shots. But hers were all under the basket. Those are fine. Johannes was trying. She had 12 shots, but she wasn't hitting. But Phoebus needs to take more than 5 shots in those situations. So on to Atlanta. Ryan Howard had 9 points. She's been shooting really badly, but she hit some key shots that make it seem like she's playing better than that she's shooting better than she is. She was 1 for 10 from 3. She was throwing them up there. But they had such a lead, it didn't matter. She had 2 steals, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds. She was 4 for 15 overall. Naz Hillman had 11 points. She had 8 rebounds. She's been hustling under the boards. She didn't shoot well from 3 either. 1 for 5. She was 5 for 13 overall. Your leading scorer, Allisha Gray, she was hitting some threes. She was 4 for 8, 7 for 13 overall, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. And then Bree Jones had 17 points and 8 rebounds. She was 7 for 11 and 3 for 5 from the foul line. Pow Pow had 9 points. She hit 3 threes. She was 3 for 6. Caldwell, 7 points. She had 7 rebounds. There were a lot of long, when Atlanta took 38 threes, so that you get a lot of long rebounds. They hit 10 of them. So they shot 26%, which that's not very good. But you get those long rebounds, and you get guards, getting rebounds. Brittany Griner had 4 points. She only played 14 minutes. Coffey had 2 points. She was 1 for 6, 0 for 3 from 3. And that rounds out the scoring for Atlanta. But, Atlanta's getting it done. There's something about Atlanta that I don't feel confident once the playoffs start for them. There's just some, I don't know. I mean, they might surprise me, but if they would focus more on going down low to Griner and Bree Jones, I'd have a lot more confidence in them in the playoffs. But, we'll see. Because all it's going to take is, a shooting slump from all these three-point shots. And if you don't adjust and go inside, it's going to be a problem for them. But we'll see. Maybe they will, I don't want to say prove me wrong, because, they were definitely a good team, but there's things that I see them do that I just shake my head at. So, but you know what? Hey, they're in second place, so it must be working. Anyway, thanks for watching, and that's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.